Hey guys, how's it going? Today I want to talk about music, freedom of speech, freedom of expression, and your thoughts on that. This is pertinent because currently as I'm speaking, Glastonbury Festival is still ongoing, and all you see today, this is Sunday, is news. Kneecap said this, Bob Vylan said this, ban these bands, what are they doing, terrorism charges, all this crazy stuff, alright? I don't want to get into the politics of everything. I do this channel because I love music, I love anything music related, and obviously Glastonbury being probably the biggest festival in Britain, maybe the world. This is quite a big story because all you're seeing are the same two stories about certain things that these people have said. And I get it, you know, they've said some quite provocative things or done some provocative things. I just want to talk about how important is freedom of expression in music to you, because I think, you know, music is one of the only things really where we are able to express personal thoughts, feelings through a medium that can connect with so many people of varying backgrounds. And I love the fact that music can connect people from all these backgrounds. And I think the fact that we're talking about these two artists, Kneecap, Bob Vylan, during Glastonbury Festival, a festival with over 3,000 acts, do we really think they're the only two acts that are saying something maybe a bit off kilter this weekend?
So guys, quickly, I just want to give you a bit of context here if you're not aware of these bands. So Kneecap, they are a hip-hop band from Ireland, released their first single in 2017. Currently, one of the members is facing terror charges. I'll put all the links to the details of that in the description box. But yeah, they played Glastonbury despite protests from various members of the public to say they shouldn't. And if you caught any of the footage you saw, they had a massive crowd. Some people might argue that them being there was controversial in itself. That's some of the narrative we're hearing. The next band is Bob Vylan, who we're talking about today. Bob Vylan, they're a punk hip-hop duo from England, again formed in 2017. Now, Bob Vylan have always been vocal about their social issues, much like Kneecap. However, I think what's got Bob Vylan in hot water is their chants of death to the IDF. Now look, just on a personal level, I'm fine with people expressing their views, but if you start chanting death to people, particularly if it's on the BBC, it's going to land you in some hot water, isn't it? But yeah, that's just a very brief overview. There's loads more online. If you want to go deeper into this issue, have a look online. But like I mentioned, I wanted this video to focus more on music, the arts, and freedom of expression, and I guess the responsibility of artists, particularly when they have a really large platform. You know, Glastonbury is a pretty decent soapbox to stand on. Where do you feel artists' responsibility lies in the way they share messages that are important to them? Let me know, guys. Drop it in the comments.
I think what's upset people is obviously Kneecap's had a lot of media attention recently. Bob Vylan maybe weren't as well known, but they probably are now because of a certain chant directed to the IDF. Bearing in mind we're at Glastonbury, quite a middle class festival. Maybe they think the IDF is death to indiscriminate dairy farming. You know, the most radical activism people at Glastonbury probably partaking is changing their horse trainer. Let's be real. But I'm not here to rant about the politics, even though I guess this is technically a political issue. And there's a lot of, you know, the Prime Minister's commented on Kneecap, whether Keir Starmer believes what he's saying or not. He's obviously feeling the pressure to respond to what Kneecap have done. But I want to talk about freedom of expression in music, what that means to you, and what are your thoughts on being able to express thoughts, whether on stage, on record. Because absolutely, be free to express your views. That's fine. In fact, I'm grateful that artists do that, because I've discovered issues that I wasn't necessarily aware of because of things that artists have said in songs, in music, in bands that I've really enjoyed. I don't go out actively looking for protest music or things like that. I love music just because I love music. I just love the art and making and hearing music. But if there's a message in there that I've not been aware of or click with, it might prompt me to look a little bit deeper. But yeah, when it comes to music, I have become more socially aware, and it's made me do my own research about various issues. That's where I want to hear from you guys. What does freedom of expression mean? Do you think people should say whatever they want? Or do you think there's a point where it does it does hit a mark where it's like, actually, this is too much. This is hateful. If I walk into Tesco's with a Nazi flag, I can't be surprised if security rugby tackles me. Do you know what I mean? I get that side of things too. This kind of touches on a video I did the other week about separating the art from the artist. I'll encourage you to have a look at that. But it kind of tips into that threshold as well, that line of thinking, because sometimes music does challenge us. Sometimes the things, artists that we like, maybe don't align with our personal views at the time. If, however, it means we do a bit of research and we become a bit more informed, so we're able to make choices that, for me, benefit people, society, myself, whatever, as a whole, that's what I hope to get from it. I get it. The things that Kneecap and Bob Vylan are talking about are pretty intense, heavy issues. I'm not qualified to chat on them. And there's going to be massive opinions on the things that they're talking about. However, do you think those things should be said on a Glastonbury stage? I'll ask you that question. Put it in the comments, guys. I want to hear. I don't have the answers. I know how I feel about when I see bands. Like I said, I've seen Bob Vylan. They've said some crazy stuff on stage. I've seen local bands that have said crazy stuff on stage. And I see it as that, really. For me personally, they've said some stuff on stage I don't agree with, and I watched them, and they're all right. That was basically it. But equally, I know if there's a subject that people talk about that does hit close to home, it can be challenging. But maybe that's the point. So, yeah, a bit of a ramble, guys. This stuff on Glastonbury, yeah, you might think, oh, he's jumping on a bandwagon here, but no, this is a topic I'm actually interested in. I want to hear some conversation. Maybe you think my thoughts are a bit wishy-washy. Fortunately, we are in an era where it's like you have to pick a side, or you're for or against. Actually, no, the world is more nuanced. Unfortunately, online, we are told you got to land in these two boxes. If you don't land in one of them, you're against the other. No, we need to be a bit more open, a bit more aware, and realize actually the world isn't like that. Music isn't like that. Art isn't like that. And I've experienced this. Hopefully, art makes you think and open your eyes a little bit and do your own research. You might come out the other side going against what that artist has said, but you've made that informed choice. But it's important to inform yourself. Ultimately though, guys, I just want to hear some cool music. I'm sure most people at Glastonbury, despite the millions of flags, aren't there to start some big activism cause. They just want to get drunk, listen to some cool music, meet some cool people, and that's what music's about for me, man. But yeah, bringing people together and having a good time. What's wrong with that? Yeah, please let me know your thoughts on art and expression in the comments. It's not a new thing, is it? Like, come on, like, bands have been doing it for years. Got Black Sabbath playing next weekend, their final show. They wrote War Pigs. Do your research on that song. All right, so it's not new. And yeah, guys, big thanks for watching. Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Really, really interested to hear what you say. And yeah, if you enjoy this channel, if you enjoy music, if you enjoy guitar, music things, music topics, records, whatever, follow the channel, because really, really love your input. Yeah, take it easy.